Your, what about your mama?
No, the Pachamama.
You took a pot to your mama?
No. Yeah, you know what I mean, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know what to say about the pot you gave to your mama, the Pachamama. The reason why is some say that they were not pagan symbols, but actually that they were Catholics who had converted to Catholicism, and those so-called images were actually supposedly representing the Blessed Mother. That's what I've been told. But others say no, they were idols, and they were presenting their idols. Either way, let me just be upfront and frank. If they were idols, the Pope made a major mistake. The Pope did something sinful, and the Lord will deal with him and chasten and rebuke him. Either way, because my belief in the Catholic Church, and I've told people this, has nothing to do with the Pope per se. What do I mean? For me to reject the Catholic Church, one would have to demonstrate to me historically that the papacy and the filioque are not historical, not biblical. They were not believed on early on. If that can be established, then I don't care if the Pope is the ninth archangel, it's wrong. However, if historically the evidence shows that the papacy was believed early on to be that office that God instituted, where the one sitting in that office would be head of the other bishops, and that was what Christians believed historically, you can have a son of Satan sitting in that office without this making me leave the Catholic faith. Why do I say that? And I keep telling people this. Go read your Old Testament. God established the kingdom upon the earth. He gave it to Saul. Saul was corrupt, so he removed Saul, gave it to David. No one denies that the Davidic kingdom was established by God. No one denies that God said that the Davidic kingdom is eternal, irrevocable, irreversible. But I challenge everyone, before the kingdom was split in two, was Solomon an example of a righteous king, or did he do worse than the Pope? If you go to 1 Kings 11, Solomon took 700 wives, 300 concubines, foreign women, and he sacrificed to their gods and goddesses. Blatant idolatry, mortal sin. Did God throw him to the dogs? Did God deject him? And did God destroy the Davidic kingdom? No. Go read 1 Kings 11. God rebukes him, but he says, for the sake of your father David, I will not split the kingdom in half in your reign. You will die, be gathered with your fathers, and in the reign of your son, I will divide the kingdom. But part of the kingdom will still remain for David. Then read from there how many of the Davidic kings were righteous, how many of them were immoral, idolatrous, pagan, and murderous. Many. But at no point in time did God say, the throne of David has been destroyed. It's no longer a valid throne. None. Never. Nada. So if this is how God operates, okay, if this is how God operates, he will establish a throne, a kingdom, an institution on earth. And then I see that many of the people who took that position were evil, corrupt, idolatrous, sacrificing to gods and goddesses, even their own children. Immoral, committing adultery, fornication, shedding innocent blood. And God never destroyed and removed the Davidic kingdom. Do you think by telling me Pope Francis is corrupt, that means the papacy is not of God? I don't operate that way. It may work for some people. It doesn't work for me because I read my Bible. I'm not blind. I see. All right, does that mean that the throne of David was vacated, unoccupied, because you had an idolatrous pagan king? No. It doesn't. Did that mean God removed the throne of David? No, he didn't. Now, someone will say, well, when God destroyed Jerusalem temple, there was no Davidic king. Yeah, well, when God destroys the Vatican City and destroys Rome and destroys the Catholic Church, then I'll say, okay, you got my attention.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's not going to work for me. Whether the Pachamama, pots for your mama, were idols, shame on the Pope. Shame on him. But people don't understand. I'm not in the church for the, well, yeah, but you see, to be Catholic, you got to. No, I don't know of any Catholic says we have to swear by everything the Pope says. Everything the Pope says. If so, no Catholic believes that. So when people keep caricaturing their position, oh, well, you believe he's infallible. When is he infallible? So that doesn't work for me. What to convince me, we're waiting for, is when they can make powerful case showing the Catholics are wrong and assuming papal primacy. The Bishop of Rome was never the head of the apostles. If they can't prove that historically, you got my attention.
Yeah.
I have to take that in consideration. But to tell me, well, the Pope is corrupt, and yeah, but our patriarchs, even if they're corrupt, they're not infallible. And that's your sorry excuse that you don't believe your patriarchs are infallible, and therefore if they commit idolatry and do what the Pope does, that's okay because they're not infallible. You think that excuse is going to wash with the Lord? But Lord, he wasn't infallible. Come on, guys. Come up with some better arguments for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Judas is scary, but go